It's your golden time.
Just a small little rant. Just a small little rant. Won't be long. What's going on with it? How you doing? How you doing? Just a small little rant. I think we like to be under rule of men. I'm finally understanding that. We just want our rulers to be nice to us. We want our rulers to do what we want them to do. But that's not part of authority or ruling nobody. When somebody is ruling you, they're supposed to be harsh. Just my thought. What's going on, Daniel? Just my thought. Yeah, I think that we really like to be under rule. We like for people to tell us what to do. I don't think we like thinking for ourselves. And there's just a following. I've never seen so many people. Well, let me take that back. I have seen a lot of people. They just like to follow with whoever's cool, whatever they feel like they can get out of that person. But that's just in that, like I say, this is just my opinion. I don't think we want to be independent, because I think that being selfish is okay when you need to take care of yourself. And I also think it's a time for everything. I think that's why they call them seasons. But what I really enjoy most, what I enjoy the most, is that it's easier to tell now. Look, if you can't be an asset to somebody, they don't want you around. Ain't no such thing as love. It's a lot of lust. And a lot of people lust on each other. Same sex will lust on each other. Because of how can I put it? Um potential potential profits. One thing I found out fast, if what I got you ain't got dibs on, we don't really have a relationship. And I know I'm smart. If I go to playing that game, oh hell gonna break loose. Oh heck is gonna break loose. All heck gonna break loose. Uh-oh. Up. Dallas look like they finna put him back on him. I think they gonna put it on them. Get them Cowboys. At least one of my teams can win this weekend. But yeah, I found that out fast. And so that's why, even me, I know one thing, I don't ask for too much help from nobody. Because it comes with stipulation. All the time. Come with stipulation. And a lot of the, I guess, shows that we have, ain't nobody putting on no show.
Hello.
Oh, shit, I forgot I was already on it. Forgot I was already on it. But yeah, they don't be. What's up, Amy? Yeah, it's tied up. I'm just having a little rant. Been doing a little surfing. Just perturbed a little bit by by mankind. You know. Hey, Amy. How are you doing? Your voice is so adorable. But it's just a small rant. It's just a small rant because one thing I noticed. If you don't have nothing to offer people, they don't want to be bothered. They don't want just your time. And the people don't give a damn about your family. They don't give a damn about anything you have to take care of. Sometimes seem to me they don't even care about themselves. Because if they had it, they wouldn't ask you for it. You know what I mean? What in the world something done happened? 2017. Yep, we there. That's what I'm actually doing, watching the game a little bit. I just was, like I say, surfing through some maps. Surfing through some apps. Going, oh my goodness. But yeah, I think I ain't gonna lie. That Odyssey app, man, that Odyssey Web 3.0. I think I think that's why a bunch of people are jumping off YouTube. I'm thinking I don't wasted YouTube time and my time for 10 years. I done already made $1 on Odyssey, and I ain't been on Odyssey but less than 24 hours. And they uploaded all my videos from YouTube to there, and in less than an hour, I've already made more than I'll make on YouTube. I'll probably never get past three. Every time I get to 350, it drops down to 349, 348. I really got to grind with my business deal, harder and different, because I put my QR code up here, and now my business phone just rings with just anybody and everybody. It's some Iranian dude calling me about health benefits in America all day, every day. So the business information has been sold. You know, um, I've lost so many relationships due to nothing that I did, just for defending myself. Defending myself. If we still got a relationship, that's because I ain't had to defend myself. And so yeah, I don't really that's somebody calling already. That man calling me at 10:30 at night. You know what he want? A cigarette. This is how people do it. This. And I think I'm gonna start charging heavily just for my time. Like my mama say, you're not supposed to let the world change you. But at this point, I'm thinking, man, fuck this world. I am surrounded by beggars. Beggars on a constant. Everybody got their hand out. I don't know nobody who hand is pale on the inside no more. Everybody hand sunburnt. But I done started giving people five, and then I learned once I started giving people five, shit. And if I'm a scam or be a beggar, I'm not used to being a beggar. I'm old school G, but we take. If you got it and I want it, I'm not gonna ask you for it. I just take it and not steal it. Stealing is different. That's for cowards. That's doing something behind your back. But taking is more of a give me that. You know I got it. You ain't gonna do nothing about it. Know what I'm saying? And it's a shame how likes and views change people. Attention changes people. You know what I'm saying? What's up, Shangy? How you doing? So I'm like, shoot, I just want to live my life alone. You know, with my immediate family, the ones that I feel like uh have the right to depend on me. Because if I continue like this, it ain't gonna be uh I'm always be in this mood of expectations for people. Already. Already at it again. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But like I said, if I continue like this, I'm gonna be, you know, always in the same position. So it's yeah, it's time for me to, how can I put it? Expand, get out on my own and leave folks alone. Kind of like I did when I first started on my little YouTube journey. Thought I had made some friends in the deal. They was cool with me, but they really wasn't. So the moment that I left them alone and went try to find my own community, they did everything to tear that down. And it comes in waves because even the new people that I met, they not true. They're not real. Support is free. I ain't gonna lie, I don't know nobody that share mine out. And I don't mind. That's cool. That's dope. Handle it how you want to handle it. But now that I know how the game go, don't expect much from me. Probably won't have nobody on my panels. You know, probably pop in and out. I think God is trying to tell me something. Oh, the Cowboys won already. I think God is trying to tell me something. Leave these people alone. What's up, Greg?
What up, Chris?
Hanging on, hanging on. What's going on with you, man?
What's your takeaway tonight?
I think people like being under rule of men. I think people like being
Think so?
told what to do.
What aspect?
Every aspect. That's
All
why
of it?
all of it. Why you think black people still think white people owe them something when they got the same they got the same
I think
uh they got the
I think
same
some black people are owed by some white people.
I don't think white people owe nobody because it was a corporate thing. It wasn't just white people that if what if I told you that my grandfather was a slave owner? In 1841 he moved from North Carolina to Texas.
Was he a white man?
No, He looked just like me.
Black slave owner.
A whole bunch of them. At the height of slavery, that's why I say at the height of slavery, we ain't gonna tell the truth and use the government, but at the height of slavery, 6% of the nation was legit slave owners. Everybody else was just buying people, and the people that they had working for them.
7%.
Yeah,
Of that 7%, 2% owns a massive amount of slaves. But
2%.
it was a lot.
Yeah, but the biggest slave owner was black. The one who had the most slaves was the black people.
But that could be a talking point too. You know, I don't know. I think it makes sense for you could track that and know who owned what and who's benefited so much from that, and like all of that money made is off the back of it.
It went to the corporation. It went to the United States government.
It's like
it didn't really go to it didn't really go to the people. Like I said, what if I played you a history of somebody that has all the paperwork to somebody named Sam Houston, who was a white slave owner in the South who paid his slaves?
I know Sam Houston. Yeah.
What if I told you
But how
one
many
of
John
his
Browns and how many Sam Houstons were there?
probably a lot. They just ain't gonna tell us that. You get where I'm coming from with
John
that?
Brown has that notoriety because there weren't that many of them.
Yep. But we just like today. Can we agree that in today anything that's bad gets highlighted? And I don't think most people are bad people.
Yeah, that's what sells.
That's what sells, right? So I don't think that many of the, how can I put it, slave owners were exactly bad people. I think the ones that were killing people and hanging people, I never seen a rich person. I never seen a rich person come down to the gutter to go find some people that ain't got much and go hang them or drag them by a truck. That's always been low class people that say you stealing my jobs. You can't, rich people, how you gonna steal their job? They don't even know what a job is.
Tobacco spitter.
You get where I'm coming from with that?
Yeah, that's where I'm from. And I'm from around the top of the South, you know. But my family, they were Confederates and they did own slaves and they weren't good people. And they had a lot of them. And they were not good people.
Why do you say that?
Rich off of those. Because if you own somebody's autonomy, you're not a good person.
But what if you taking care of that person's autonomy because they don't feel like it? Everybody don't want to. Everybody don't want to run the corporation.
If I decided not
to, but you had that. But you should have that choice. But if I'm paying you, you can buy yourself out, right? That's why I brought up. That's why I brought up people like that. Nobody discusses Sam Houston.
That's different. That's different. Like they were not. Still haven't. I mean, that's just, to me, it makes economic. This isn't an emotional argument I use for reparations.
No.
It's an economical one. It is necessary to pay displaced family living. I think that makes the most sense to do.
But how can we prove that when I just said that at the height of slavery, 4% of the slave owners were black and 2% of the slave owners were white?
That can't be true.
Why not?
4% out of 7%. You're saying that predominantly slave owners are black.
Yeah, the richest slave owners live in New Orleans. Sir. The richest slave owner is. You don't think so? Or do you just feel that way?
Absolutely.
So if I can provide you with information that says that if I can provide, I'm going off my own family history now because you told yours. Let me tell mine. My grandfather in 1841 moved to Texas with slaves. Who sold him the land? He looked just like me. He looked just like me.
There were no black governors. There was no black people.
What if you found out? Hold on, Grinch. Grinch. What if you found out that there was 9 presidents before George Washington, and they on the back of the $2 bill?
And I know who you're talking about. The first president of the United States.
Okay, come on, man, and talk to me. What we saying?
But that doesn't mean the 4% of the Confederate South, which was 14 words originally.
when it's
That
against
that makes sense.
when there's money involved, it's not a contradiction. Do you know how we get the term shooting the dozens when we talk about people? You know where that term comes from? And I'm gonna tell you why this ties in. Do you know where that term comes from? This is what we call, when black people sit around and they hostile and play with each other, where let me ask you, have you ever heard of the boule?
Boule
Yeah.
sounds French. Sounds New Orleans.
Okay. Have you ever heard of uh how about the spook community?
No.
So these are
Like
two
like
major
the
economic these are two major economic pro-black people that are in your White House that you don't even know who they are.
you're talking about right now.
Right
We're
now.
talking about
I'm talking about right now. Because see,
we were talking
they generational wealth started way back then. Didn't I ask you to boule? But let me go back to my question about shooting the dozen. You know where that term come from? Shooting the dozens, playing the dozens in the hood, in the black community. When we say we playing the dozen, that mean that we make fun of each other, different characteristics of each other, and that's how we pass time. You know how that term came about? Because
talking about
slave owners wasn't selling. They wasn't selling their strongest slaves and their best slaves in order to somebody. Because then who gonna do the work? So what they would have to do is they would sell to people that just wanted to buy people or needed help. They would sell the ones that was something wrong with them. One might have a little leg, one might have a messed up arm, you know. But as long as they were
regardless of who owned who, how many people of them suffered, how many black people suffered on
just
this
as
land,
many as
regardless
white
of who owned
people, just as many as white people.
it. No, sir.
You don't think so? What if I
Not
told you
the
about the
United States.
what if I what hold on, how you know? Because they got a whole book. They got 3 or 4 books right now that's hot that white people are reading about white slavery in America.
I'm talking about the Irish.
No, I'm talking about anybody that come from Europe. They had a slave boat too.
We were not slaves.
Oh, you see, that's what I'm saying. You might refuse to believe that. You might, Where do you? Hold on. Let me ask you something. Where do you think the word slave come from? You had to be Slavic. You know, it meant to be Slavic back then. It meant to always get captured. Who was
Yeah, the
capturing them?
Slavs had it hard.
Well, who was capturing them?
Really hard.
Who was capturing them?
The Anglo-Saxons.
Oh, come on. Well, talk to me then. Talk to me. Let's even jump into World War II. What if you found out that the United States government had no intentions on helping the Jewish people in there or anybody else that Hitler was killing? If it wasn't for the soldiers writing back saying, look what we think we had it hard as black people in America, you wouldn't believe what white people doing to white people over here. And that was the catalyst to them coming out. They still don't consider themselves white, just like Italian people don't consider themselves white.
No, but they should.
Why?
Because we're all European. It's just like the predominant fucking race is white in America. Like if you're an Italian, I grew up in a town full of Italians. If you're Italian and mark other on that, you're stupid. You're from Europe. You're a European. Your last name could be Johnson, and you still have predominantly like the Italian lineage. If you're in America, people aren't going to be like, "That's an Italian guy. I'm not going to hire him." It's not the 40s.
No, but Italians still hire Italian, right?
In small communities based off Italian. Yeah, I
Well,
got
I
kicked out
was
of
just I
the
just
Irish.
2 years ago, 2 years ago, I was on with a very well known chef named Lisa Pucci Delgado. She hosts the second biggest wine festival in America every year. I was up there as a chef, right? When we went to hang out at night, we went to an Italian club, and I didn't see anybody in there but Italian. This in
Yeah, there's
Cleveland.
different characteristics of Europe, just like anywhere else. Italian, but I mean, there's different features, but that doesn't mean that people don't see them as a white person in the United States today.
Hold on, let me let Rich say what he gonna say.
Anybody who thinks white is dumb is slow, and I can tell it's an American conversation. Right? That's an American mindset. Even a person who thinks that white is European, yeah, lets us know how either uneducated and slow, right? They are, or they're just hiding. Europe has never been. Europe used to never be white. The concept of white is something that was created just to keep idiots like whoever's on here talking in thinking that Japan someone. Dear God, the brother definitely now pale skin European is how you should announce yourself. Europe is fully melanated, always has been. I don't get that point. What am I supposed to?
Well, I would say just human. Now, I think we need to get rid of black and white
Yeah,
altogether. When I think we need to
yeah,
get rid of it
absolutely. And that's
altogether
what you tell.
when Congress is holding uh when Congress is holding um hearings on things that we don't know, that don't land here, or they're not us. Well, don't you think it's about time we come together?
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying. These are utopian ideas, but the social narrative that we live under could be changed. Sure, you could go,
Well,
um,
let me ask you this:
but that's not what that's not the social norm.
would you? Well,
I don't
why?
care that I'm look, Chris. I don't care that I'm white. That I'm all the white. That doesn't bother me. Uh, but that doesn't mean like that there isn't a social narrative that's out there that that defines race in this still weird kind of like archaic way of like black people are completely separate from white people or Indian people, Asian people, you know, and that's that's what's still going on. There's still these derivatives of scientific racism that fall into the social narrative, and what we have to deal with. And this is what the outcome is your big boys, your 40s, your POWs, and then even your unlabeleds, and like they talk about race like it absolutely matters. It
Well,
shouldn't,
let
but
me.
it does because we've created this social net.
Well, okay, but what if you heard somebody that you know who Jane Elliott is?
Yeah, yeah, with the dolls.
Yeah, and the kids in the class and all that. What if you heard her say specifically the only reason white people need to be white is it makes them assume that they're good people just because they're white.
I would agree with that.
Okay. Well, then that's why we probably need to get rid of it because good is good and bad is bad, and it doesn't really have a face, right?
Yeah, well, it shouldn't.
So now we can circle back to what I said. I'm pretty sure we like being under the rule of men. We like the narrative because it works for some of us, right?
Do we like the narrative, or is it just easier?
I think we like it. Don't you like something that's easier, or do you want something that's harder?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You like the easy part of like go get a job, do your 9 to 5, come home, have a couple beers, go on a record, wake up, rinse, repeat, go on vacation, pray for a vacation for 5 days off across your calendar in your cubicle or whatever you fucking do. Yeah, it's mundane. Mundanity is easy, and that's why most people do it.
I don't know if that's why most people do it. Most people, I think, just don't. And you're right. I don't think they care enough and they don't mind. But that's what I was saying. That even goes back to what I was saying. We don't mind being black and white because then we have something else to blame it on instead of ourselves.
Yeah, well, absolutely. we live in a time, I feel like now more so than ever, that it's us and them.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter if it's just race. I mean, race is a very like classical kind of version of this. It's a very classic like tribal way to go about things, but people still do these like little social groups. You know what I mean? It's like George Carlin said, people are good until they get into their little groups. And now there's so many groups. Like say that you were a black supremacist, right?
Yeah.
And you run into, but you're not an Israelite. You're just a black supremacist on its own, like no religion or whatever involved. Then you big boy, you guys are gonna talk about the differences that you see in racial construction 1,000% and argue about it. Because these groups are so limited in these little corners of everywhere in this social net that they're going to battle because they need a bad guy.
Well, I think that this is just my opinion on that. If I was a black supremacist, I would say that what helped white supremacy out more than anything would be the fact that the media could label black people how they wanted to in the blink of an eye. And hear me out when I say this. When people think of
No, I agree with
when people think of black people, especially that you've got a lot of these kids coming up saying, well, you know, hip hop is that's our culture. And then they're also saying, well, we don't need to listen to it because it promotes all the wrong things. Okay, that's what it, yeah. But what if you go to an older black person, somebody like my grandma age, well, she passed now, but somebody in their 90s, and you say, and they say, well, that's not black people. And you go, what? They go, no, that's not black people. That's street people. That's what we would call nigger stuff. Because there's a clear difference. You get where I'm coming from?
I think, yeah, I hear where you're coming from. But here's the thing: we're gonna talk about popular culture and art. That's like something I'm good at. I listen to a lot of rap, a lot of hip hop music, all the way from '76. I'm a genre guy, so like when I listen to something, and like I love country music too. I don't like